This is absolute insanity. Look at the board here. Magnus with the knight and bishop combo for a queen. Should never be anywhere equal, yet he goes on here to crush Daniel Naroditsky, a 3200 blitz chess beast on chess.com. End of September. He's doing the impossible once more. Shout out to Square One Chess as well. What a channel. He's like a better version of me. Drew my attention to this game. We've got to dive in, because after pawn e4 from Danya, Magnus plays the aggressive Sicilian. By the way, one more shout out. If you want to learn this fantastic opening, use Lotus Chess. It's a daunting opening. There's a lot of theory, but Lotus will break it down nice and simple for your level of chess using your games on chess.com. It'll give you that killer repertoire, even the Sicilian if you want it. It's so much fun. It's free. The link's in the description. Do check it out. We now see Danya go knight c3. You'll learn this move in Lotus. It's a bit of a sideline, but not a massive one. Also common. This is less common, however, from Magnus. Likes to delay getting his bits out. Play with the pawns. That's now 4 pawn moves from Magnus. Finally, he pops a pony on the board. And if you're going to develop a bishop, normally white does something like this at this point. Or this, if you're truly overpowered. But bishop d3 played. Now you interrupt the connection here. So it's a little bit ugly. We're going to see how that one comes back. Magnus builds the banana hammock. Now we see the bishop developing there, tucking into bed, knight attacking the centre, so Danya now wastes a tempo. But Magnus fully equalising now with pawn d5. Lovely break in the centre, and if you take, not played, well, you get this mass liquidation, and black's just standing fine. No issues at all. Lovely raking bishops, if I could draw arrows. But after d5, we didn't see takes. We saw this one. Sorry, I messed up there. We saw castles. Skips the white move. Now black takes. Bishop takes. Pawn takes in the centre here. And Danya leaves himself with a bit of a compromised structure. But it does take some space. Bishop e6. And now he goes pure caveman style by ploughing that h-pawn down the board. Very often voted the most overpowered pawn push in the entire universe by these guys, the Global Chess Committee. They know where it's at. Queen a5 now played. And it looks like you can still push the pawn. This wasn't played. But the response from black is truly epic. And it's knight takes on e4. Now hang on. You just hung an entire knight. But this is how the line proceeds. Crashing through here. And there's actually huge counterplay for the piece. Let's stop there because it gets too deep. And it wasn't played. After queen a5. None of this business. But we saw this business. Danya taking a leaf out of Magnus's playbook, trying to get the ladies off the board. Magnus says no siree. We hope he's feeling okay. Normally loves to grind like a grandma. Here comes this foot soldier of doom, but Magnus has got it worked out. Kick back the queen. e3 is best, but Danya goes here. You could attack with the rook, but Magnus slides past like a ship in the night, keeping the lines closed towards his own king. Then he can go for an attack, but Danya pounces first on this pawn. Great to and fro battle. This knight's now hanging, of course, so the queen gets kicked out. Back to d6 here, and before you can say, Gangster Giri, a man who just qualified for the FIDE candidates, will he make 14 draws like in 2016? Only messing, what a player. We will find out. Bishop b6 is now played, ignoring the threat on the knight, and this is where the game just springs into the most incredible action. Now the top engine move here, it is level when you look at the eval baron. His knight takes on e4. That is not easy to spot. Now if you take here, there's takes here, line goes something like this, leads to this mass liquidation, level position. But let's run it back, because what if after knight takes on e4, you don't take the queen and take the queen. You take the free piece. Now white is simply an entire piece ahead. Well, then black crashes through here, And long story short, you get this huge attack on the white king, sack absolutely everything like a madman, and then force a perpetual check. Who on earth is finding this kind of line? Absolutely inhuman. So this was the move. Magnus didn't play it. He went bang, giving up the queen here, then taking the knight, pawn b3 to keep lines closed, and knight takes on e4. Now this is one move on from the position I showed at the start. All you've got is knight and bishop for queen. This should never be tenable, but watch what happens here. Pressure on the diagonal, dealt with. You could take the pawn on a6. You could come back to e3 to stay with knight f2. Then knight d2 can be strong. But Danya goes for this. He says, fine, take back some material. At least I get rid of your tricky knight. Pawn g4 now from Magnus. Bishop finds a home on c6 there. Rook saved. Queen takes now. No need to worry about this stuff anymore. And you give yourself a passed runner. So bishop e5 stacks them like Christmas trees, shooting in every direction. The force is strong with this one, but so is it with Danya. He gets the a-pawn running like prime Yasser Serwan. Sorry, that's my phone pinging off here. The commentary's too overpowered. They clearly want me to slow down. Must be the chess mafia. Now the bishop attacks the king, and so Danya defends. Rook d8 from Magnus, and it's a really, really sneaky trap. Because what happens if bishop takes on f5? That's a free piece. Well done if you saw the shot of check. You've always got to look out for an exposed king. Then you take the rook and you slam him with the second one. It's now black winning. These two way too overpowered in combination with the bishop. So let's run back. After rook d8, we didn't see bishop takes. Danya goes queen c4. Really nice retreating move, pressuring this, preparing to take with check as an intermezzo, potentially, and also freeing the way for Audrey to run. We now see bishop f6 from Magnus. Always play king b1. Keep Lord Hans Feingold happy. Rook e to d7 double stacks. Pawn a5 runs it, and it's a mistake as you can see. The better move was rook f1, but the line is nuts. Who leaves this one when there's so much pressure? The idea is that you get f-file counterplay with the queen and stuff. It's way too ninja for this video. We'll stick with what was played. Magnus chasing the queen away, and now the best move is to actually just crash through on d3. It's a winning idea, but Magnus doesn't play it. He goes for bishop g5 first, preparing to then take and corral through this c-pawn. So queen c6 on the board. Now he takes with the rook, giving an exchange. And the lines here are utterly incredible. Look at the power of the bishop pair. How can these two possibly fight a queen? We'll watch this. Pawn c2, and the promotion is unavoidable. We get check, king g8. Another check, king running. And once again, there's these incredible ninja lines where if the queen goes here or here, it's apparently a perpetual check. But the queen goes here. Now if you go king g7, you're killing it. But Magnus goes here. They're blitzing low on time. These are drawing moves. This is not. The queen is made. And the problem with this endgame is that the bishop is too strong, technically. Now f5 was more precise there. Danya did have a chance to try and run his king round to here, gobble some pawns, distract the bishop, but he misses his shot. He brings it round like this, the bishop blocks the diagonal, in marches Magnus's king, and he gets his kingside pawns rolling ominously down. The bishop's too powerful, covering both sides of the board. Here he comes, there goes the g-pawn, now we see a check. And it gives Magnus time to pick up the f-pawn here and round up that poor white king. This is the ending to an utterly incredible game by Magnus Carlsen. What a battle between the two players, and it ends on move 74 in check and mate. Hope you loved this one as much as I do. do check out Lotus Chess, link down below, and have a look at the video on screen if you want to see another incredible, mind-blowing Magnus Carlsen game. Thanks very much for watching, and see you soon. Cheers.